time. You'll have to face the music and do the time.
Good morning, parents of the West Shore School District and citizens of Cumberland County. So, we're here today to discuss Team Mickle. Okay, so apparently, Team Mickle has a problem following the law. They're disregarding the law. Now, this is what I mean. When you are running for office, any kind of office, the rules of the game is the rules of the game. You do not allow your team, nor you yourself, nor any family member, to tamper and vandalize the signs of another candidate. And this is what is happening. Team Mickle have gone Looney Tunes, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They're disregarding the law. They're disregarding campaign laws, and they have been vandalizing Mrs. Brent's signs. So Mrs. Brent's signs are being found in the river. They're being found stomped on. They're being found vandalized, thrown in poison ivy, tucked behind other signs, moved from the place where she left them. And wow, that sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Isn't that what they did to me a few years ago, guys? And this is the problem with the left, that they feel that they cannot win an election honestly without having to give in to these stunts. And Team Mickle and Terry Mickle, she's aware of this because she has been made aware of this. And they have used every trick in the book. First, she cross file, which I think is foolish in this Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for anybody to cross file because there's no way of really knowing when you do that what you really stand for. But that being stated, she has people in her teams lying to the residents in Region 2, stating that she is a conservative, that she is against the LGBTQ, which we know she is not. And we saw that in this last board meeting when she had a little huffy fit there. She gathered herself quickly because Adam Trong voted for the policy that will protect our girls' sports. Okay, you should have seen the look of disgust on her face. Now, she was smart enough not to say anything, okay, because she is trying to play both sides of the game here, okay? So they have people knocking on the door representing her as a conservative, representing her as a Republican, which she is not. And the latest news that we've received is that she has a so called pastor knocking on people's doors, okay, endorsing her and claiming her to be a conservative Christian, which is a joke because we know she is not. We've seen her in action, and by their fruits you shall know them. So that being stated, Team Mickle is showing the highest disregard for the law. It's like the law and rules don't apply to them. And this is the difference between the left and the right. The right, we don't touch anybody's campaign signs or property. We follow the law. We respect the law. We hold the law in high regard. But the left, people like Terry Mickle and her team, does not. Okay. And they will go and do whatever they feel they have to do in order to cheat, because this is another way of cheating, misrepresenting yourself and lying to the constituents, which is what Team Mickle have been doing all this time. So it's sad when you have to really go to those levels, to those extremes to try to win an election, because it shows that you're not secure about yourself. You're not secure about what you stand, if you stand for anything, and you don't believe, okay, that you can defeat your opponent legally and fairly unless you resort to these tactics. So shame on Team Mickle. And then the other disturbing thing here is that she is running for school board. Okay. What example is she setting? What precedence is she setting for our children and her own children in allowing for these things to occur? So, what you're doing is that you are supporting your team and allowing your team to break the law in order for you to get what you want. I mean, we already know that you're on the wrong side of everything. That's been proven time and time again. You're not this conservative that your team is lying about and trying to portray you to be. And you're definitely not a Christian conservative, I can tell you that. Now, she goes as far as to back up a teachers union advocate, Daniel Gross, in an attack on ABC 27 in stating that the Red Land Project, practically what they said, is a waste of money. And fixing the natatorium is a waste. Now, to my understanding, I think Terry does, to a degree, back up the natatorium, but she has problems with the Redland Project. So let me ask the public something. Redland has been waiting for decades to have their own sports field. It's a field, people, not a stadium. Anytime you hear the stadium, that's the left trying to deceive you. There's no money for a stadium. It's a simple football field with some simple bleachers. That's it. And Redland have been waiting for decades. And this is the time for Redland to get what they deserve and what they have patiently waited for. So, doesn't Terry Mickle see the need for equality in resources? I mean, I have nothing against Cedar Cliff at all. Okay. But Cedar Cliff's sports stadium, you hear that? Stadium it's grandiose if you compare it to what Redland's going to get. But yes, she supports Danielle Gross because she feels that this is the only way she can get people to hear her nonsense. And she feels this is the way of her climbing the social ladder. And she feels that this is the only way she can possibly get votes is by joining forces with another gaslighter and talk against a project that our children are excited about and need. So is this the person, Region 2, that you want as a school board candidate? Somebody that is obviously disregarding the law and allowing her team to vandalize and steal signs and lie, go knocking from door to door, lying, misrepresenting her, lying to you, making you believe something that is not true. Is this the person that you want? And what example is she setting for our children? So we want somebody on our board that's going to teach our children to lie and to misrepresent and to disregard the law. Is this who we want? And Team Guys Wise know better. They're doing the same thing to Sandra signs. And I'm sure that Brian Geiswhite at this point is aware that it's happening. So I highly urge them, if you are claiming innocence, pull the people that are working on your team, pull whoever your campaign manager is and tell them to cut it out. Because this is a bad look on you. Totally a bad look on you. So I'm here briefly just to advise you this early in the morning as to what's happening. Mrs. Brent's signs are being vandalized, thrown in the woods, thrown into poison ivy, thrown into the river, stomped on, and so is Mrs. Gonzalez. Are these the people that are unable to rein in their campaign workers, the ones that you want to sit in Region 2 and Region 3, people that disregard the law, people that are going to teach with their actions and the things that they allow that it is okay to disregard the law, to lie and to cheat? Region 2 and Region 3, I think we know the answer to that question. And I believe that our children deserve better. Region 2, on May 20th, when you go out and vote, keep all these things in mind and vote Kelly Brent. Because the right, unlike the left, we will not cheat. We will not cheat. We will not vandalize, and we uphold the law. And we will teach your children how to uphold the law. Region 2, vote Kelly Brent. Region 3, vote Sandra Gonzalez. Because honestly, guys, we can do better. We can do better. Say no to Terry Mickle. Like I've been saying all this time, vote for Mickle, and we're going to get in a bigger pickle as a district. Vote for tax to the max Mickle, and we're going to be in trouble. Okay, she is not this conservative that she's portraying herself to be. And she is not bipartisan. And she's bringing woke agenda and politics into our schools when we're working so hard to get it out. It's time to bring common sense policies in, but it's also time to bring common sense candidates and board members in. And again, with Brian Geiswhite, say no. His time is up. 15 years too many. Okay. He brought us into the debt that we are in now. He brought this, disgusting pornography, he and his wife, into the schools. And we have proven what he has denied many times, that yes, his wife, and there you go, right in the middle, the Gay Straight Alliance had an LGBTQ club in the West Shore School District. So for him to have sat there and claim ignorance, that he did not know that these books were in the school, obviously that is false. And let me remind you guys, okay? Hopefully you guys remember that under his leadership, the West Shore School District was trying to ban prayer or stop prayers in high school events, something that the students are allowed to do. If they're valedictorian, salutatorian, or there's a game or something, they're allowed to pray. And they stopped that. They wanted to stop the prayers. Okay, they wanted to stop the students from doing that. And it wasn't until it was reported, okay? And it was reported actually by my husband and made public. And he contacted a lawyer, that you see the report on the upper right. School district reverses course after ordering prayer to stop at high school events. They send letters to the boosters, okay? To the president of the boosters, ordering this, saying that it was a Supreme Court mandate when it was not. We have the emails. We have the proof. We have the proof. And this thing of silencing the parents even further at the meetings was also his doing, along with Danielle Gross. And the pornography in the schools that he denies were ever there, that he denies was happening. Well, we've proven not only was it happening, but it was his wife, who was also the librarian at the time, bringing it into the schools while she's heading an LGBTQ club. And listen, the LGBTQ can have a club if they want to. What you cannot do is impose your views on others, and vice versa. And that is what she and her husband were doing. These two books here that you see, found in the West Shore School District. So getting back to the signs, Team Mickle and Team Geiswhite, address your people. Address the people working in your campaign and advise them that they have to show respect for the law and campaign laws and stop vandalizing property that does not belong to them. And if they continue to vandalize, maybe both of you want to have some decency and write a check to the candidates that are being affected by the actions of your teams. So with that, this is Mariana signing out. May 20th. Say yes to Mrs. Brent, Region 2. Say yes to Mrs. Brent, Region 3. Welcome in Sandra Gonzalez. This is Mariana signing out. God bless.
Trapped again, and fate as always has me wrapped again. I always get caught in my life of sin, but I just keep on going back again. You know I'm lost again, when all I wanted was to find a friend, someone that I can always depend on to help me find my life again.